Thanks, guys. Brian Dunn here with Athletic Director John Longley. So, kind of just going into the fall season here, I know there was a lot of ups and downs, but overall, I think a lot of the teams really showed either some improvement or some really good success in this season.
Yeah, we did host our first. The football team qualified for the playoffs for the first time in a few years, and we were able to host our first playoff game under the new format here at Norwood High last Saturday. Field hockey continued their success, as one of our top programs, under Coach Allison Dolan, are qualifying, for the Division I South tournament, and this year was able to secure a home game. Boys cross country in particular won 3 meets this year with a very young team. I mean, it's been a long time since we've had a boys cross country team win 3 meets. Girls volleyball made some strides this year under Coach Paul Mimblett, and that's a program that continues to build and grow. I know the soccer had 5 wins. That was the most wins that they've had in quite a few years. Maybe over a decade. We're at that point where we're right in the mix. The kids are competitive, and now it's finding the ways to commit ourselves to taking those next steps.
Well, I'm joined in studio now by cross-country coach Amy Worcester and junior Tri-Valley League All-Star Olivia Bodette. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in this evening to talk to us real quick about this season's cross-country. Coach, I'm going to kind of start with you if I could.
Sure.
I know that record-wise, maybe not what you wanted, but tell us a little bit about the girls' season this year, some of your runners and the progress that you saw over the course of the season.
Sure. We only unfortunately had 6 girls running most of the varsity races, so that's really difficult to compete. So I knew in August we were going to have to switch the outlook to just individually improving, which all the girls did. I was actually looking at the averages. We ran over a minute faster than we did last year. Each girl PR'd by over 50 seconds that returned. So they practiced really hard. They were there every day.
Yeah.
So I was really happy with how the season went.
That is some great stuff. Now, Olivia, where to begin with you? Just a junior, and yet in the 3 years or so here at the high school, probably one of Norwood's most prolific runners in a cross-country program. I'd mentioned the Tri-Valley League All-Star. Some of your highlights this year certainly are, the showcase meet, the coaches invite medalist, medaling, as your coach said, in every single meet that you participated in. 4th place recently in the District 4 Eastern meet. One thing I did want to ask you about, though, I think is your breaking of your own record, but the record at the Norwood course here. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it was good to have competitors too to move off of, since our team is so small. Mm-hmm. And I think I broke it. Was it the Halston meet? And so after running 4 years, you get to know the girls from other towns and where you place with them. So it was definitely one of my rivals or whatever. She's from the town that I broke the record at, and so it was good to have her to see where I was time-wise.
Oh, that's
and
great.
Work off of that.
I am joined by head coach of the football team, Manny Lopes. And Manny, you have just been named the American Independent Football Officials Coach of the Year, so congratulations.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
So take me through that phone call. What was it like to, considering everything that's happened this year, to get that phone call and receive this honor?
Yeah, I got an email from John Longley saying that I got it, and I went and talked to him, and then I called the guy back. He called me and left me a voicemail, and he said, "Hey, congratulations, coach, blah, blah, blah." And I kind of laughed. I said, 6 weeks in, it's kind of early to name a coach of the year, right? And he kind of broke it down and said a few things on how far the program has come with the kids included and the other coaches on staff, and how they really appreciated officiating our games because we were pretty good to them, and it was kind of funny.
Well, I'm joined now by junior captain of the golf team, Jared Shea. Jared, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So I always like to start, especially with our golf guys, because it's not necessarily a sport a lot of kids grow up playing. So I just want to kind of get your background in the sport. How long have you been golfing, and how did you first get into it?
Yeah, definitely. My dad is a huge golfer. His father taught him when they grew up on the military base. But I always went to the range with my dad, me and my 2 sisters pretty much, just kind of fooling around with his clubs. And I kind of started getting serious around 6th grade, and he finally brought me on the course, and I've been hooked ever since. Always wanted to go out with him and kind of just improving my game from that standpoint. So pretty much my dad was the leading factor in that.
So you say really getting started in 6th grade to take it seriously, which is kind of earlier than some of the other golf guys we've had in here have said, which I'm sure helped contribute. Last year you said you were number 3 golfer on the team, which was a pretty senior-heavy team, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then this year you were number 1. Is that a big adjustment to make, going from 3 to 1, that jump this season?
Yeah, some might say, going from 3 to 1, it's not a big deal, but I feel like my role definitely changed a lot. Having 4 seniors on the team they're just really phenomenal golfers. Being in that 3 spot, I wasn't really expected to do too much, but I kind of ended up coming in, sneakily coming in with good scores over the season. So coming into it now, the expectations change a lot. Yep. Going from, hey, we just need you to significantly play, 40s, low 40s, and now, the expectations are you're shooting around par, you might be going under a little bit, but expectations between that and coming in to be number 1 are a lot different.
Well, hopefully through the wonders of modern technology, joining us from South Bend and the campus of Notre Dame will be a 2016 graduate, Brian Curley. Mr. Curley, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Mr. Hoover. How are you doing?
I am wonderful, my friend. I didn't even know you got the the Tottenham thing back there. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I got that one hanging
Outstanding.
up. Yeah, got that a few weeks ago.
Outstanding. Hey, listen, 2016 grad of the high school, graduate here of NCM and the whole program that we've got together. You're now one of the student directors out there at the sports director at the Student Run Radio. Tell us a little bit about how you got into that.
Yeah, so I'm a film, television, and theater major here. So a bunch of my friends kind of knew that in my freshman year going into my sophomore year. A kid I knew in my dorm was going to be the sports director the following year for the student radio station. So he kind of got me looped into that, and that's how I started doing play-by-play and color broadcasting for the student radio for Notre Dame hockey, basketball, and football. And then I've been doing that the past 3 years. And then last spring, I got selected to be the sports director for WVFI student radio for this upcoming year. So this year I got to go to the away games so far and just be the play-by-play broadcaster for student radio, which has been an awesome experience.